So, you've been keeping bees for a year or more, and you've probably heard whispers about the BBKA basic assessment. Now, hold on. Before you think exam, I want you to just park that thought. Let's look at this a different way. Think of it as your beekeeping badge of honor, a really practical way to check your skills and seriously boost your confidence. All right, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why this is such a great badge of competence. Then, we'll totally demystify the assessment itself so you know exactly what's involved. We'll walk through what the day looks like, cover the kinds of things you'll chat about, and finish up with how you can sail through it.
Okay, first things first, let's get right to the big question. Why bother? I mean, really, what's in it for you, and more importantly, for your bees? Look, it really boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. The number one reason to do this is that it's genuinely going to make you a better beekeeper. It's not about getting a piece of paper. It's about really cementing that foundation for years and years of successful and, let's face it, fun beekeeping. And the perks are super practical. I mean, this isn't just a pat on the back. This badge of competence is actually recognized by people like landowners. It can literally unlock the gate to new apiary sites, maybe on allotments or farmland that you just couldn't get access to otherwise. That's a game changer. And the best part? It's totally achievable. This isn't some elite thing for experts who've been at it for decades. Nope. It's designed for you, the person who's taken at least one colony through a full year. You've seen the seasons change, you've done the work. If that sounds like you, then guess what? You're ready. Okay, I get it. The word assessment can sound a little intense. So let's just pull back the curtain and see what it's really all about. You're going to see it's actually pretty straightforward. The whole thing is just broken down into 4 equal chunks. And it covers the stuff you're already thinking about every time you go to your hives, right? Your actual hands-on skills, your understanding of how bees live, how you deal with swarming, and of course, keeping an eye out for pests and diseases. And here is the best part, okay? You can put your pens down, let out a sigh of relief. There is no written exam. You are not going to be sitting at a desk. It's all about showing what you can do and talking about what you know. Honestly, it's a much more real way to show your skills. Right. Let's talk about the main event, the hands-on part. This is where you get to show your stuff. It all happens at an apiary. And you know how long it takes? About 20 minutes. That's it. Let's picture what that looks like. Believe it or not, your assessment kind of starts before you even get near a hive. Just showing up with a clean bee suit, clean tools, and being organized shows you're serious about apiary hygiene. And that, right there, is a massive part of being a good beekeeper. The practical bit is basically a normal hive inspection. You'll light your smoker, gently open up the hive, and then just talk the assessor through what you're doing and what you're seeing. You'll point out the brood, the food stores, and check on the colony's health. It's exactly what you do anyway. You're just saying it out loud this time. Now, this is really important to remember. The assessor is on your team. They are not trying to trip you up. They're an experienced beekeeper who wants to see you succeed. They'll ask questions to help you show what you know. Think of it more like a friendly mentoring session than a test. Okay, so after you've closed up the hive, there's a little chat. It's usually pretty relaxed. Sometimes you're even putting a frame together while you talk. It's just a chance to cover a few other key beekeeping topics. So they'll want to know you've got the basics of the bee life cycle down. How long it takes for a queen, a worker, or a drone to develop. Knowing these numbers off the top of your head is super useful for figuring out what's going on in your hive at any given time. You'll also chat about real-world problem solving. Like, could you spot the difference between a hive with a failing drone-laying queen versus a hopelessly queenless one with laying workers? Being able to diagnose these kinds of problems is an absolutely critical skill. And of course, we have to talk about bee health. You don't need to be a bee veterinarian, but you absolutely have to know which diseases are the really serious ones, the ones you're legally required to report. For any responsible beekeeper, knowing these is completely non-negotiable. All right, let's bring this all home. We've looked at what the assessment is and what it covers, so let's talk about what it actually takes to pass and how you can feel really confident walking in. You might want to sit down for this. The pass mark is just 50% in each of the 4 sections. That's it. It is so achievable. And hey, if you're aiming a bit higher, you can get a credit with 75% or even a distinction if you hit 90. So what's the secret sauce for success? Simple. Just talk through what you're doing. Listen to the assessor. They're giving you clues. And if you don't know something, it's totally okay to just say so.
Practice the simple things like getting your smoker lit well, and you'll be golden. The pass rate is incredibly high for a reason. It's designed to build you up, not knock you down. Look, at the end of the day, taking the basic assessment is one of the single best things you can do for your beekeeping. It sharpens your skills, skyrockets your confidence, and gives you that official nod that, yes, you know what you're doing. It really will make you a better beekeeper. So, why not this year? Why don't you give it a try?